So as I said yesterday, we're going to make a big jump from chapter 5 to chapter 10. Just briefly, what happens in between these chapters. Remember yesterday that there was this scroll that was sealed with 7 seals. And no one could open it except really the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Lamb that was slain. These are images of Jesus. So as this scroll, these 7 seals start to be broken, things happen. Okay, I'm not going to get into detail what these things are because I forget what they are. I'll have to look at it again. Okay, but that happens 7 times. And then after that, we have these 7 trumpets that are blown. The first 6 have been blown. Again, things happen. And it's really the same things that happen with the 7 seals, except with more intensity. But now we're in between the 6th and the 7th trumpet that is about to be blown. But before the 7th trumpet is blown, we're going to have these two little interludes. And here is one of them today. We once again go back to the scroll. This time the scroll is opened with writings on both front and back. The seals have been broken, okay, as we found out in the previous chapters. The scroll is presented to John, who's seeing this vision, and he's told to consume the scroll, okay? It's like having a meal, cooked by Monsignor Doman, because it's going to taste sour in the stomach, all right? Raw hamburgers will do that to you, okay? All right? And this is all making allusions back to the prophet Ezekiel. Ezekiel had the same thing happen to Ezekiel, but this time it was concerning the destruction of the temple and the fall of the house of Israel. Okay, so as Ezekiel consumes the scroll, it tastes sweet, but then it turns his stomach sour. Okay, it's a sign of judgment. Okay, that if people don't reform their ways, it's not going to be a good ending for him. And now John has the exact same thing happening to him. But this time, unlike Ezekiel, that this prophecy was meant for the house of Israel, now for John, it's what? You must prophesy again to the peoples, nations, tongues, and kings. The whole world. Okay? The whole world's going on here. And here's the thing with all this. One important thing that we can take away. So, being a bearer of God's word is going to affect John and affect him first and foremost in a positive way. It's going to be delightful to follow the will of God, to be in covenant and relationship with God. It definitely fulfills our hearts. But it's also going to turn our stomachs sour. It's going to come with hardships. The life of the prophet, all the prophets in the Old Testament, including up to John the Baptist, we can even talk about Jesus too. There's also many hardships because there's just so many people out there who are enemies of God. They hate God, therefore they hate the prophet. Because the prophet is the bearer of God's word, It's like the phrase, don't kill the messenger, right? If someone brings you bad news, you want to lash out at them. Well, the prophets really experienced that in a true way. And I got a little bit more bad news for you. The last couple days we learned about how we share in the kingship of Christ and share in the priesthood of Christ. Well, we also share in the prophetic mission of Christ as well. It's not going to be easy. I don't promise you, a life of comfort. As I told the 7th graders yesterday, your lives aren't made to be comfortable. You're not called to be comforted. You're not called to have life easy. You're called to greatness. You're called to greatness, especially in terms of virtue and in terms of faith. That's what you're called to be, and it's going to come with hard work. It's going to come with trials. But it's okay, because as we move through this book of Revelation, you're going to see it's going to turn out pretty well for you at the end. May God bless you.